All right. We are live and back in the Let's Do Video boardroom. Great to see you, Tim, as always.
Likewise, David.
Does not feel like it's been 2 weeks. Feel like we just finished the last conversation. You know,
Absolutely. There's so much going on, isn't there?
it feels like, you know how they do those game shows like Jeopardy? They record like in 2 weeks, they record a year's worth of shows and they just play them out to the year, which is a nice gig. The rest of the year, they just kind of take it easy. It feels like we did that, but I really haven't seen you in 2 weeks. It's just been that crazy.
That's right.
Now, we have a lot of news today. I can't wait to get into it. But first, I just want to share with our viewers, check out the Let's Do Video website. We have a bunch of great, fresh new content. Bose Professional was here in the boardroom talking about their latest offerings. I love having companies like Bose get into our space. I mean, we've known them our lives. They make cool gear, and now they're making stuff for our meeting rooms. I'm really just a fan of and they're not the only one. I'm a fan of the companies from outside joining our world. We had Lenovo, Yamaha, and AVer. It was we had a crowd here talking about their bundle for MS Teams rooms. It's everyone's saying the same thing. Everyone has these wonderful boardrooms with a bunch of empty seats because half of the people are at home. So we're getting our MS Teams rooms. And I just met with Crestron. The video's not live yet, but we have a sneak peek under embargo of their Zoomtopia announcements. So during Zoomtopia, that will be released. Tons of fresh content. Please check it out. But I'm excited to get into our first news item. We might be breaking this. You found this like 10 minutes ago, and it's an article from today. So Microsoft Teams is introducing something called town halls, and they're getting rid of live events. This is you want to dig in first? I have a lot of thoughts. I don't want to talk over you. Let me let you start.
Yeah, I noticed it actually, I think it was yesterday, but it's certainly fresh off the press. And what Microsoft will be doing is they're replacing live events, which frankly hasn't received the sort of traction that you'd expect it to have got, because there's still a number of customers out there that still use different types of event platforms, but keep the unified communications and collaboration capabilities internal. I think Microsoft haven't really delivered in live events for large scale conferences. So what they've announced now is Town Hall that's going to replace live events. Some of those features will be standard. Some of them will, the advanced features, you'll have to pay a Microsoft Teams premium license for. The original live events retires September next year, and the Town Hall GAs is generally available on October the 5th. So have they done this in time for Zoomtopia, David? I don't know. But
Seems like it.
It does seem like it. The attendee, so some of the features you have to pay for sort of cover off in three areas. One is there's a cap on attendees. So if you have the standard license, it's 10,000. If you have the premium license, it's up to 20,000 attendees. The other area is the amount of concurrent events. So you can have 15 events running at the same time with the standard offering, up to 50 if you pay with a premium license. And then the other area is the Enterprise Content Delivery Network, the ECDN. The standard offering is for third parties, and then the premium version is Microsoft's own Enterprise CDN. So yeah, some interesting developments there. They've also announced features like Green Room. I'm not sure it's as extensive as other platforms, but it just allows you to pre-meet before a live event. And there's going to be simplification.
How could they not have that by now? I mean, that's kind of something we, yeah.
Yeah, so they're simplifying that in quite a big way, and the ability to switch video feeds, that sort of thing. But I don't think it's got anything out of the box in terms of production studio. I know we were singing Zoom's praises there. So it does feel that this space is really hotting up. So in order to grow ARPU and in order to grow revenues, Microsoft are being forced to add new features, and some of those features you have to pay a premium. We know that about AI and Copilot in Teams, which I think is $34 per user per month. And then, of course, Zoom gave that away for free. So it does feel like there's quite a battle out there in terms of Zoom and Microsoft, I think.
You know, I think it's not just heating up, it's getting confusing. It's getting blurred, because what do we mean by a live event? What do we mean by a town hall? There they're completely different experiences. Um, I think Microsoft is leaving something on the table here. I don't think they have a live events platform anymore. I think Town Hall is something different, and live events is important. Over the pandemic, we were forced to do live events, and a lot of people said, "Heck, why am I traveling to 10 events a year? Why don't I do 3 events a year and do 7 virtual?" But we're still saying, not a lot of good virtual events out there, and we want it. There is a massive demand for it, and that's why Zoom has been developing the heck out of their Zoom events. Every time I look at it, it's different. They're developing, and Cisco bought, what was it called? I forgot. Not Slido.
They're quite Slido and Socio, didn't they?
Socio.
Yeah.
Socio is what I'm thinking of, which is an events platform designed to replace going to a physical event where there's a lobby. It's not just a big webinar with 10,000 attendees. That's a big webinar. It's an event experience, and that's, I thought, what I don't think Microsoft Teams, actually, I think live events was misnamed because it was really just a big webinar, and that's what Town Halls is.
Yeah, and I mean, it was introduced in 2019, so it's been out there for some time. It hasn't really got a great deal of, how should we say, it hasn't got a great deal of love out there in the market.
So
and
is Zoom
I've
just
been
not going to have a
Microsoft
virtual events
events,
platform?
I beg your pardon, David? Sorry.
Is Zoom just not going to have a virtual events platform? They're just going to let, I mean, is Teams not going to, is Microsoft not going to have a virtual events platform? Are they going to let Zoom and Cisco fight it out? Because
no, so this is what Town Hall is hopefully
not a
trying
virtual events
to
platform.
replace.
There's no lobby.
So again,
I don't think it's a virtual events platform. I think it's webinars plus. I think it's a webinar with more features, a bigger lobby, a green room, but not a bigger audience, a green room. I think it's super webinars. It's big webinars, but that's not a virtual event. I don't think this is something that if I was Infocom, and I don't know why they don't, by the way, and I wanted to have a good virtual component to my event with a lobby, I would use Zoom Events, or I would use Cisco's offering. I don't think Microsoft has anything for me. You know, where there's a chat and there's, you know, that, you know what I'm talking about, the whole event experience.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think what they've done is by calling it live events, it is a bit of a misnomer. It does feel like a very big, you know, live events has got different connotations to Town Hall, as you rightly point out. And although it does support external participants, it's not like you can charge for an event like using the Zoom platform, or you can register interest there. They are doing things like attendee reporting and the email support. But I'm thinking about, you know, when you think of, you've got the RTMP out capabilities, so the sort of ability for you to stream out video to an alternative platform. Microsoft own LinkedIn, so I can't understand why they don't have plugins and can stream directly out to LinkedIn, why they make that so difficult. So I look at it and think, okay, it's baby steps. They're retiring an old platform that really got a great deal of attention and no one really used in earnest. Even Microsoft, you know, I attended analyst events and they used a third-party platform for large-scale town halls, not live events. So yeah, they're entering this market. The GA's on October the 5th. The old platform retires in September next year. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
And to be fair to our friends at Microsoft, this looks like a really good town hall offering. I'm not being negative about it. I'm not saying, oh, this isn't, I don't like. I can't scroll down on the screen here, but when I scroll down, the features that they have, and you know, it's robust. It's not just a big webinar. There's a lot of extra features. I think this is a great town hall offering. I just think is live events just so hard that Microsoft is saying, you know what, it's just you know, we can't figure it out. Because I wish they would. I wish someone would. To be fair, Zoom and Cisco are doing great work there. It's getting better and better. But I still feel like I have to go to these events. I still feel that way.
And there are other event platforms like Cvent, for example. There are quite a number of them that specialize in that digital hybrid experience. So I think that Microsoft is hoping to sort of get a bite of that apple. So yeah, watch this space.
Very interesting. All right, so we head on to our next bit of news, which is Zoomtopia is happening next week. This event is so big, it's incredible. It's actually become one of those events. There's 2 tiers of events in my mind. There's the events that people save their product updates for so they can announce it at the event. And there's the events that they say, Hey, it's great to see you at the booth. We don't have anything new because we announced it all at the bigger event. This is becoming a first tier event. I've been briefed on things that I can't tell you about that big companies are saving to announce. Crestron are saving to announce at this event. It's become a tier one event. I've always been amazed at Zoomtopia. I kind of think, I joke that I think Eric wasn't really interested in making a video conferencing company. He just wanted an excuse to host this event because it's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a long commute for me, but it's well worth going to. There'll be lots of announcements from all sorts of different companies. Some of them will be device companies, of course. We've seen huge uptick in things like video bars with 20% year-over-year growth. The demise of those very large telepresence units, I think we've said on other shows. And this whole new remodeling of the office is taking place, and consequently, these device manufacturers are stepping up and making sure that they have these form factors that have all sorts of wonderful capabilities, like background noise cancellation and intelligent directors that allow you to sort of zoom in on the people that are speaking at the time. And it's only going to get better. Those device manufacturers are putting a lot of effort into that, and I look forward to seeing what announcements come out next week.
Yeah, they're making their products with Zoom in mind, and Teams, of course. But they're not just designing a great video bar and say, yeah, it works with Zoom. They meet, especially if they get certification. I mean, it's almost like Zoom is a partner in the design of the device. And of course, for us, the best thing about this event, they give us so much access to the execs. It's really great. We get to know what is going on, what their plans on. And yeah, we just met with them in August, but things are changing so quickly. I don't think we knew in August that Zoom AI was going to be free. I don't think they told us that 2 months ago. And that is, I think it's one of the biggest things to happen this year. I just started using it, and my mind is blown. And I knew what to expect. I knew it was going to be this way, but when you see it, and I haven't messed with all of it, it's going to be AI throughout the platform. I turned on the meeting summaries. Right now, AI is listening to us because I brought you in here through Zoom, and I'm going to send you an email after with the summary of it. And it's just it's so perfect. It's so what we always wanted. It reads, I mean, it's nice broken up by topic, headers. It's easy to find what's going on. And when you read it, it's not that old AI language, that little summary snippet language. It reads like a human being wrote it, like an adult human being wrote it, like an intelligent adult human being. Some things they misunderstood. Sometimes they don't quite get. It's not human, but it sounds like. It sounds like I didn't hire an industry insider, but I hired an intelligent person to listen to this meeting and summarize it. My mind is blown after just a few attempts of using it, and it's free while their competitors are charging for it. This is big.
It is big, and quite frankly, I'm part of a trial in our company of Copilot, and myself and my colleagues feel somewhat underwhelmed by what it can offer at the moment. So we don't know whether or not that's because it's a pilot, or whether or not the generally available Copilot will be better. But at the moment, I'm not sure that I could justify to my bosses an additional $34 per user per month, or I think it's $34 per user per month. So I'm a little bit, I'm, as Gartner would say, I'm in that trough of disillusionment. I'm sort of,
Oof.
we've been promised all this capability of AI. It's promising, but not $30 per user per month promising. So I'm not sure I could justify the business value, but I do like Zoom's price. Of course, nothing's free because this stuff needs to be administered. You have to go through the administration. It's part of the licensing plan. But the fact that capability is baked in, and they're not trying to gouge you or tempt you to go to new SKUs and grow the average price revenue per user there, I think it's really encouraging. So yeah, I look forward to that summary.
Well,
and we're seeing these battles being fought. Battle for AI and the battle for live events and town halls. It's all playing out here and sort of driving the market forward. I don't know where that leaves everyone else, all of Zoom and Microsoft's rivals, though. It's going to be an interesting year ahead.
Some people aren't going to be happy to watch this. I tried the Zoom offer, price aside. I tried the Zoom AI and liked it. And to be fair, I just tried the meeting summary. I think you've tried a lot of things with Copilot. There's in the emails and everything else. Yeah. But you tried the Microsoft offering, and price aside, weren't so thrilled with it. So that already is a problem for us. But I
Yeah.
think the pricing is, I think making it free, from a business perspective, some people at Zoom might still be pulling their hair out over it, but I think it really makes sense because I would not have paid for it. Absolutely not. But now that I tried it, if you told me, do you think it's worth $20 a month? Yes. If my business was in a position to buy anything I wanted, and now that I tried it, and you say, hey, you got to pay $20 a month for keeping it, I'd probably pay it. It's good, but I never would have paid it in the first place. So no one would have been, not no one, but a lot less people would be using it. I think by making it free, it's going to take off. It's very cool. Anything else? Anything else we need to mention about Zoomtopia? I guess we'll have a lot to talk about when we get back. But I'm just
Absolutely.
excited to
Yeah.
go. It's going to be a great show. They always, keynote speakers, and the music is always amazing. They have Ludacris this year, which is going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of energy
I
there.
won't pretend if I know who he, she, it, or they are, but I look forward to it anyway.
The only band that I really knew was Weezer, because they're from the 90s. The Zoomtopia one, they had Weezer. I'm like, I know their songs. Everyone else has been someone not everyone else, but a lot of them I don't know, but they're always good and I always enjoy it. So, all right. Anything else left us to talk about? I just want to do a quick mention. This might be a little weird, but Ring Central, a few years ago, they started, inviting me to their analyst events and briefing with me, and because they were being more interested in video, and I'm Let's Do Video, and a lot of times, sometimes companies, they have a smaller budget, they're not doing as many analysts at their events. I don't get invited. That kind of happens, but I'm usually kept in the loop. I still get the briefings because I want to be able to intelligently talk about, if Zoom Ring Central news comes up on this show, I want to say, I brief with them regularly, know what's going on. And they're ghosting me. It's a little weird. They're not answering my emails. And, again, if a lot of times companies say, hey, David, our CEO doesn't like purple, whatever, anything. We don't vibe with you. We're just not working with you. I remember, this is interesting, at Dolby. I love Dolby, like I talked about Bose coming to us. I love Dolby coming to our space. And when they left our space, I didn't want to believe it. I reached out to them. I'm like, you guys are gone. They're like, David, we don't do UC, sorry. And there's nothing personal. So when a company says we don't need to be talking to you, that's fine. But when they ghost me, when they don't answer my emails, that seems like something is a little off. And it makes me wonder, are they not as serious about video? Maybe video isn't their focus. They have phones, they have contact center. And if I'm talking to them about their video, maybe it's not what they want to be focusing on. I don't know. Or maybe just my emails are going to their spam folder. But but it makes me wonder about Ring Central's interest in video in our space.
It's an interesting world, isn't it? Because at the moment we're seeing more of a push between the integration of contact center and unified communications as a service. So those two worlds are coming together. And I still don't think it's a done deal that, oh, well, we've done video, we've done everything that we need to do about video. I mean, we've seen developments while we've mentioned about live events and town halls. So there's still a lot of interest in video and meetings, collaborative meetings, et cetera. So it seems strange that a vendor would sort of consider that done or not get involved from a video perspective, because of course, meetings, we've shown over the last 2 years how important meetings are. They're the lifeblood of many companies. So I don't think you can just assume that video is done and then just sort of feel that you shouldn't get analysts involved in or influencers involved in that sort of area.
Yeah, and again, this could be just a mix-up, and if it is, I apologize if this was awkward, but Ring Central, when I'm writing articles and when I have guests on the show and when I'm talking to people, I would like to be able to tell them that I know what's up with you guys, so you can reach out to me. All right, and sorry for our viewers if that was a little awkward, but I think it's part of the news of our interest. You know what, I'm getting old enough that I don't care anymore. Right? It's our show, we can talk about whatever we want. But anyway, with that, I am so looking forward to seeing you in person in just a few days.
Likewise. Yeah, it'll be exciting. We'll have plenty to talk about next time we meet online. And
For sure.
yeah, looking forward to it.
Thanks everyone for watching.